Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me is someone who claims to be Joel Meyer, but I'm not sure what to say you look like here. How are we doing today, Joel?
It's a shade show, all right, for the live viewers. We got the sunglasses on. We're rocking the shades because you know what? Tuesday night was an excellent night. I rang up a $150 bar tab, barely ate anything, and I was only drinking house logs. I wasn't drinking any fancy shit. $150. I was watching everything, man. Like the Knicks game, fuck the Knicks, man. That was the one game that pissed me off every fucking time, man. I hate this stupid team. Just finish the fucking series already. I can't stand watching them. They're so stupid. Anyway, everything else went great. Oilers total domination against the Kings. That was nice. Devils. We didn't get the bet officially, but thankfully I bet at a certain book that allows the early payout. So we got plus 240 there, and the over in that game. Thanks to the Markstrom just giving up. I don't know. It was like 3 goals on like 6 shots in the second period. Something stupid like that. And then the Sens, of course. We got to relish a few more days of Leafs, sweats, and tears. I actually listened to, after getting up in the bar, like one of the first things I did was listen to the Leafs podcast. They're so good at it, though. Like they're experienced by now. They're veterans at being miserable. And it's good for the outside listener. A lot of Schadenfreude there. Yeah, so what else was there? There was one more game. No, Knights, of course.
Golden Knights.
Yes.
We love video review now on this podcast. We've always loved video review.
Yeah, that's right. It's Canadian bars, so they had the Oilers and the Leafs games on the main screen. So I was like paying close attention to the Knights on like this tiny little screen they have in the corner. But it can only do so much. It was offside, right? It was like the Wild score was like offside, a minute left.
Yeah, the score was a minute left. Like Hartman had a great running man celebration, but no, Gus Nyquist was
a good celly.
So much offside there. So
it's even better because it didn't count.
So yeah, exactly. And it would have been Marc-Andre Fleury getting a win in relief, which would have been a cool story there.
Yeah, Gus got sick. It was because of an illness. Yeah, you have to take a shit or something like Lamar Jackson.
I don't know if he was shitting himself or like a Roberto Luongo was going on. I don't know, but apparently he's going to be good for next game. So
yeah,
they need him too.
Excellent result for our Knights. I was beginning to give up hope. Like when they scored that goal before it was overruled, I'm like, oh, fuck me, man. Everything, the whole night was ruined. Yeah, but thankfully, video review exists.
Yeah,
I don't mean that, by the way. I'm staunchly against video review, but in this case, it worked for us.
Yeah, I hate video review so much because like we've said it before, but like you celebrate a goal, but then you have to wait. And like I heard Friedman talk about it today on 30 Thoughts. He's like, in the Situation Room, like they have cameras, they have screens looking at offsides every time. Like just make it like the NFL with every touchdown's reviewed. Every goal is reviewed for 30 seconds. If it's good, it's good. If not, take it back. And
no,
that's it.
I disagree.
You'd rather have like 5-minute reviews here and there.
No, go back to the old ways where it's just like the linesman calls it, whatever.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen, but that's how I prefer it. Like it's the spirit of the law, right? Like, so what if a guy's like an inch offside? Who gives a fuck? It's the spirit of the law. So it's just to prevent guys from being like 4 feet offside.
Yeah. There was a goalie interference challenge last night that I thought was pretty bad. I forget which game it was. I think it was last night.
That was the
Devils.
There was
the Hurricanes goals. Maybe
one of the Sens goals was possibly challengeable, but they didn't challenge. There's also the Panthers Lightning game.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking about that one. That was 2 nights ago. That was a. Yeah, I think that's what
I noticed that the coaches are more reticent to challenge now because if you lose, the way the power plays have been clicking, you're in big trouble. So
yeah,
that could be a factor going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 overtime games. They both went my way. I'm not sure if you were happy with the Canes getting that win there, but Markstrom was great in overtime. I mean, second period he shit the bed, but Markstrom was vintage Markstrom in overtime and even double overtime.
Yeah, we had a couple serious bets in the Canes, but I'd rather just see them eliminated as soon as possible because we have so much invested against them in the Eastern Conference. So, like, they're the They're the target. They're the gorilla against the 100 men. We're the 100 men. We're gonna take that fucking gorilla out.
Yeah, they're under 2-1 now for the Eastern Conference, which, like, I guess they're gonna.
That's why I keep betting against it. I have to keep betting against it because that's a terrible price. So I'm gonna be fucking loaded up against the Hurricanes no matter what happens. Like,
I saw
the Eastern Conference Finals is gonna be the sweat of my life.
I saw right now the Lightning are like 35-1. I know they're down 3-1, but their depth does look pretty bad. But like,
they lost Hagel too.
They lost Hagel, yeah, and Sorelli didn't skate today. I'm sure he'll be fine, but yeah, it's looking like Canes, Panthers for the East.
Vasilevsky went back to 2023. Vasilevsky,
yeah, Vasilevsky's turning into Hellebuck here in the playoffs. So we'll see if the Panthers can close it out tonight. See if the Caps can close it out at home tonight. Probably will, and then we'll see if Hellebuck can turn it around on home ice in the late game there. So. If you're watching live, I took a little sprinkle on Blues' highest scoring team today at 8-1. So they scored 7 and 5 in the last two. So nice little sprinkle there.
I vouch for that. One more note before I shame myself. Just another disclaimer. I only slept like an hour and a half, and it was in the bath. Since yesterday,
with water in the bath, or was it like slowly raining?
It was water. It was in a dry tub, man. What the fuck you think I am? Some kind of savage?
You're definitely a bath bomb guy, right?
Oh, I like the bath. Yeah, it because I got a bad back, right? So the warm water soothes the back. Like I'm constantly stretching nonstop. I work a physical job, and I got bad posture.
Yes,
drink too much, so I need the bath. I used to have actually the bath salts. I used to use those. Yeah. I should get back into that.
You use them for their proper usage, not for the other usage.
Yeah, no, I don't fucking inhale them. What the fuck they do?
Well, I love a bath too. I mean, it's kind of hard being 6'8", but I do what I can. I work with what I got there. All right,
I need a Roman bath.
I need I need something like that. All right. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast for more great bath talk like that. Apple and Spotify, YouTube. Appreciate all of that. Any notes on last night? You just want to get into these games?
Can we see comments on this?
We can. You have to go on the chat on the right hand side. I think it's towards. No one's commented yet. I mean, no one's commented today. No one commented yesterday when I was.
Bunch of losers missed out on a terrific night of hockey Tuesday night. Oh my word! The best night of the playoffs for me, anyway.
Yeah,
Nuggets too. I bet the Nuggets finally. I got in on them at plus 110. They killed it. I forgot to mention that one. Awesome. Just dominated the Clippers. All the fucking NBA hardos were all over the Clippers, sucking their cock the whole series long. Jokic just shoved them in the bucket. Oh, and Jamal Murray too, Canadian legend. Was it like almost 40 points in that one? So yeah, that was something I was paying attention to as well. So love to see that. Fuck the Clippers.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment in the chat. So just so we make sure that it comes up on this. We're not trying out. We're switching to a new back end streaming thing. So trying to get that there. While we do that, let's check out the puck buck bets from last show and what we've had so far. What has changed since last show? I had Carolina game 1, round 1, minus 110 for 55 puck bucks, and Carolina round 1 minus 2.5 games, minus 115 for 58 puck bucks. So both of those came through for me. And then Jolie, Svechnikov, most goals, 12-1. What a dart there to start it off.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, Wyatt Johnson isn't going to get there because McKinnon just continues to fire the puck in the net. Though we did bet some Wyatt, some Cowboy 50-1 for the Conn Smythe, assuming that the Stars get through. I really have lost faith in the Avs, but yeah, Svechnikov, he's a killer. 5 goals though. I didn't expect him to dominate the series the way he did in terms of the goals scored.
I shouted him out for potentially Conn Smythe, I think, at some point. Might have been yesterday's show, but
nope.
He was. You don't think? I mean, the Canes don't have a chance.
We're videoing every Canes bet on my end. You can do what you want with the Canes, but
if you like the Canes, well, he's down to 24-1 now, so I would not.
Canes aren't winning.
I would not recommend.
This is my hill that I will die on. If the Canes win the Eastern Conference, the Canes win the Cup, you'll find me in a fucking cave.
All right. But our puck buck bets from last show, we had identical puck buck bets here. Devils Hurricanes over 5.5 plus 105 for 10 puck bucks. That came through. Edmonton Kings over 6.5 for 15 puck bucks. That did not come through. And then the Kings first period, Edmonton regulation at 15-1 for 2 puck bucks did not come through either. I was able to hit on the Edmonton to win from behind. I think that was around plus 280. Just should have went with that one rather than the long shot there. And then for tonight, we have the Blues team total over 2.5 at plus 100 for 15 puck bucks there.
Update on my unofficial puck buck bet of the Atlantic to win the Stanley Cup. Things got confusing because the Sens have made things tricky with the Leafs. On the other hand, though, the Panthers have they won that game, so they're up 3-1 in the series. So I think it's just Panthers. You might as well just bet the fucking Panthers.
Do you have Central as well? Do you have Atlantic and
Central?
Yeah,
a long time ago.
And you have Vegas, so you're covered.
I got lots, man. You know how I bet this shit. But I'll tell you what I'm sweating the most.
That's true, yeah. But so basically, you're covered somewhat, unless the Canes just come in and
exactly.
You have to sell your apartment, you have to sell your body, and just live in a cave.
Yes, my liver is useless, but everything else might be worth some dollars. But yeah, my point is that you might as well just bet the Panthers now. They're up 3-1 in the series. Of course, going back to Tampa Bay, but they lost Hagel now. Ekblad, okay, whatever. Getting Ekblad suspended for 2 games, that's worth the price of losing Hagel for the Lightning. So that was well worth it, especially because it's retaliation for Hagel taking out Barkov or trying to take him out. Like, Barkov's a fucking chap. Came back in there and yeah, he played well enough. He looks healthy. So yeah, I think it's just we're back to the well again with the fucking Panthers. Let's roll it back. I mean, Lightning is fine too if they make it come back, but then it'll be a 7-game series. So there'll be some more damage on the body, and the Leafs presumably get through the Senators? ? And maybe they can take care of a damaged Lightning team. But anyway, my point is that the Hurricanes are not winning the Eastern Conference. Everyone else is live, but I think the Panthers are the most live, and the market reflects that now. So the Atlantic bet was when the Lightning and the Panthers were kind of tied. I expected it to go 2-2 there. The Lightning were 2-1 when I suggested that anyway, around then anyway. But whoever wins this series between the Lightning and the Panthers, I think has the best shot to win the Eastern Conference. That's my overall look.
Yeah, unless the Lightning steal it and their injuries catch up to them next round. Because
that's the thing. Because the Leafs could definitely, they do have some talent, they do have some pedigree, but I lost confidence. We saw the same kind of ghosts in that Sens game. It's like the Leafs are like 0-31 now in the power play in the last.
They haven't scored a power play goal in games 5-7 or a clinching game or whatever since Patrick Marleau in 2018.
And they're 1-13 now in series clinching games.
Yeah, I saw also the Capitals are awful in clinching games. I saw a stat before.
Capitals won a Stanley Cup, so
20 and 35 all time in potential clinching games.
Yeah, 37%. That's a lot better than 1-13.
Well, yeah, but if you cherry pick certain stats, certain stretches.
What cherry pick?
It's not cherry pick, but if you're just looking at a certain time frame, that's in their entire history. They are.
Okay, well, we could go back to the 80s, to the 70s. Leafs weren't any good in the playoffs then either. Anyway, my point is that the Leafs have struggled. The big guys are slowing down. I mean, Matthews has been invisible most of the series. Marner.
Joel, let me stop you there. First of all, none of you sliders out there put anything in the chat, so I had to go in there and test it.
Sliders.
The sliders, right?
Where are the sliders at?
You forgot where are
the sliders at?
We're almost to an ad break before we get to a game, so we have to get to a game here. It is the Leafs game kicking it off Thursday, 7 p.m. Maple Leafs -102, Senators -118, over 5.5, +100, under 5.5, -120. Joel, continue whatever you were saying about the Leafs.
Yeah, the Leafs, they haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967, as I'm sure you know a history lesson. No, interesting now. Senators are favored in this game. That's questionable. I don't know. The only reason you'd back the Sens now is just betting against the Maple Leafs, the vibes that they got going on. Everyone is it's a troubled city there in Toronto, in the six, as they call it. And I mean, like The power ratings of the teams do not reflect this line. I'll tell you that much. The Leafs should be favored. Like if this is a regular season game, the Leafs would be favored by margin, I would think. We can go back and look at the odds they were at the regular season, but the regular season, there's no way that the Senators are the equal to the Leafs, and so you have to bake that into this line. That you have to factor in that there is a lot of playoff stuff being baked into this minus 118 price for the Sens, and I want to bet the Sens, but not as favorites. I love the Sens as dogs. Like
pesky.
That's
Gotta be pesky.
Yes, the pesky Sens. Like last 2 games, they were dogs and they came up to play. Like, fuck, man, I'm talking myself into betting the Leafs. It's just everything points to the Leafs winning this game at this price. Anyway, minus 102. Like, why are they the dogs from a power rating standpoint? Anyway, but of course you have to factor in the ghosts, the demons, the narrative bullshit. But it actually means something because if you watch these guys, they can't close. They can't close these games. They can't finish on the power play. They can't finish these series off. They have so many chances to do so. And even the one series they did win, it was in overtime. Like a fucking a Tavares goal. I don't know if it was a reflection or whatever, but it was overtime is often 50-50. So even their one series clinching win under this enterprise was a bit fortunate. And I think the Lightning were better in that series altogether, but I don't want to go down another history lesson. So this game is just, I hope the Senators win, but I can't lay the minus 118. So if I had to put this game in a vacuum, it would be the Leafs minus 102. And we're going to go once again with the under 5.5. That one did win. And the last one with the nice, good game, by the way, by Linus Ullmark. He was very solid in net with a shutout. And the Leafs, they weren't exactly impotent offensively. They did challenge them a lot, but they just couldn't finish, as is their want. So I like the Sens or I hope the Sens win. But if I was betting this in a vacuum, I would bet the Leafs at minus 102. It's just the difference in price is too much to ignore. So I'm not betting this game. I will say that right now. But if I had to bet it, I would bet the Leafs and the under. I might bet the under 5.5. That might be a good bet, actually.
Yeah, the under does look like a good bet, under 5.5.
Yeah, Trevor in the chat. There we go. If you think the Leafs will fall, then Panthers for the cup. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. We got a slider in the chat here. Yeah.
Even if even if the Leafs win, like Panthers for the cup, regardless.
Yeah,
or at least for the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. Also, Trevor, great point here. Leafs are nothing here. Exactly. Like you can't take the Sens minus 120. Looking back at their regular season meetings in Ottawa this year, Ottawa was plus 101. That was the only game in Ottawa. And then in games 2 and 3, Toronto was plus 122 in game 3. Game 4, Ottawa was minus 109. And yeah, I love the under here, under 5.5. Allmark has been locked in, been tight checking. Not going to be as many power plays now, as we get later into series. And even if there are, the Leafs aren't going to score. Like we've been talking about it. So looking at last game at 5-on-5, 48 minutes at 5-on-5, expected goals were 1.9 to 1.2, scoring chances 18-17, like shots on goal 19-15. There's not a lot of offense out there whatsoever. So I might bet that under. And yeah, if you bet anything in this game, it has to be the Leafs, I think, at minus 102. You want the Sens to be pesky. They're not in a pesky situation. I guess they are in the overall series, but yeah, I think you got to go Leafs or nothing and just take the under at minus 120. I pulled up the 60-minute line here, but draw at plus 295 just is not enticing enough to me. You made a comment last night in the group chat that if you bet overtime in every game, it would be profitable this in the playoffs, because you mentioned it like last week too, that these games are tighter, going to be more overtime games. And on other books, you can usually get plus 320 is what I believe I've seen. I'm checking what we have for this Leafs one right now. Plus 340 on FanDuel. I would be all over that for just round.
Even the plus 295 is okay, I think.
Yeah,
I think this is a very close game.
Yeah, I haven't added up how many overtime games there have been in these playoffs, but there's been a decent percentage. So yeah, and 2 in this series so far, and then 3 in this series. So could definitely see that happening again. So that would be my favorite play there, is the draw, but also do like the under, maybe a 2-2 correct score if you want a little sprinkle there.
Did you? What did you think of the? Who was it? The penalty at the end of the second period. Did you see that? Travis Keenan was calling for a major. It was a boarding. It wasn't Nyes. It was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I saw it. I was flipping around between the games. It wasn't on the big screen in my Canadian bar.
I mean, it's whatever. It was 2-minute penalty, but it was borderline major. Leafs might have got away with one there, but all's good in the end.
Yeah. Before I move to the series price here, we are brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved, no usage fees, and no minimums. You can earn cashback rewards, and there's a 100% approval for all betting deposits. So sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25, and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And it's Derby week at SGPN. Make sure to check out our horse racing podcast, Notorious OTB, for all your picks. Plus, get in on the action of the most exciting 2 minutes in sports with Naira Bets. Sign up today and boost your Derby bankroll with a $25 free bet and $200 deposit bonus with promo code SGPN25. Join now to claim your $25 free bet and $200 deposit match bonus at nyrabets.com/SGPN25. And of course, mybookie.ag is your place to bet on every sport, including the playoffs. They got props for every game. And for the true DGens, you get the MyBookie money bag. They accept customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, series price here. You got the Leafs minus 425. You got the Sens at plus 320. Series most goals here. Not going to really get into that. So yeah, it's just But I was doing the parlay calculations for most of these underdogs, and it just seems better to bet it game by game and roll over the money line.
Usually works that way. By the way, before we go further, for any live viewers, we are on the over 17.5. We're rolling back.
Yes,
with the
ride the meat. Ride the meat.
Yes, ride the meat. Eat the meat. Yeah. So any live viewers here, you can join us on this funnest bet in sports. Continue.
Yeah. So looking at minus 118, and then what do you think they're going to be in Game 7? Any idea?
They were like minus 170, minus 165.
They were plus. Yeah, they were plus 147 last night. So if you get a plus 140,
I got the Sens up plus 150. Nice one there.
So
even though I said the opposite on the podcast, I can't help it. When I go into the bar and I'm having fun, I want to bet on the team that I want to win. So I have to do it.
Yeah. No, they're bar bets. The podcast bets, bar bets, completely different.
Exactly.
But if they're plus 140 again, that gets you to plus 343, and they're plus 320 for the series. So at this point, just take the money line and roll it over.
Yes. Plus, you can always shop. Like if you bet this series price, you can only use one book. But if you have multiple books, you can shop around. You'll get a better price, and that's the way to go.
Correct. Yeah. Always got to shop around. We're at 7:30 on Thursday, but an early start. They had an 11 o'clock start earlier in the series. Got the Vegas Golden Knights minus 166.
Fuck. We had
the Minnesota Wild.
8:30 on the West Coast. Now we got, what is that, 4:40 on the East Coast on this one?
Well, this is 7:40 on the East Coast.
Oh, 7:40 on the East Coast, right.
7:40 on the East Coast. Got my honey application there. I'm not sure why that's showing up. Let's get rid of that. No, whatever. I've got the Vegas Golden Knights minus 166.
Such a discrepancy. I don't get it.
Got the Minnesota Wild plus 140. Over 5.5 minus 108. Under 5.5 minus 112 here. Jack Eichel was looking good there. He had 2 assists, or at least 1 assist there.
Yeah, 2, yeah.
In the 3-2 win. So he was looking a lot better. Got Carlson up on his line with someone else. I forget who their line shuffling there with Bruce Cassidy. No, Stone's on the second line now with Hurdle and Saad. It's Carlson.
I like it. Cassidy
and Dorofeyev on the top line. He's a lot better at home. I wonder if he has some sort of hookup in Vegas for something possibly to get him going.
Yeah, those Russians.
Definitely possible there. Overtime here is plus 320. Definitely not a bad look there. I am starting to get more confidence here in Vegas. They were slow to start it off, but we kind of figured that back-to-back overtime games outshot them 46-32 and then 32-22 the last 2 games. So they've been a better team. It's just been Matt Boldy, Kirill Kaprizov getting it done for the Wild. And if the Vegas Golden Knights can contain them, they can probably win this series. Aiden Hill has looked better. So minus 166 isn't a bad price there for the Vegas to close it out, not have to come back home for game 7. As for the total, always kind of wary in these elimination games. You could get some late empty netters to screw you, but I would probably look to the under, especially if Gustafsson is back to start.
Have the Knights been the better team? I haven't looked at the XG, Corsi, all that bullshit. But
they have 56% expected goals at 5-on-5.
So 56 to 44. All right. Doesn't really match my eye test. I don't know. Maybe because I'm fucking paranoid the Knights losing the first round. I'm cynical and thinking that they're playing worse than they are. But I'm scared to shit of the Wild right now. I mean, I shouldn't be, because this is what the Wild do every time. They force these early series, go 6-7 games, and then they lose in these clutch spots. They're the Leafs of the West. We hate the Red Wings, of course, the Dead Wings from the old days, but at least the Dead Wings have achievements. But what the fuck have the Wild or the Leafs ever done? Nothing. Certainly nothing in my lifetime. But plus 140, though, I think that's kind of enticing to me. I would only take the Wild here at plus 140 in a vacuum. Of course, I'm going to be living and dying on every rush attempt by either team. Of course, we want the Knights to win the series. We have buckets and buckets and buckets of Knights. Yeah, buckets. We're running around. We're jousting with the Knights. But right now, it's in a vacuum. I would take the Wild at plus 140 in this game, and then the Knights win at home in Game 7, I think. But it'll be a steep price then as well. Like, this is not the time to bet the Knights, I don't think. Like, this is a tough matchup right now. Like, the Wild are playing like they were to start the year when they were like neck and neck with the Jets. People forget how good the Jets or the Wild were at the beginning of the season. They were one of the best teams in the NHL. Now, like the last couple of months, they've been shit, but they lost Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson neck. Now they got the Cubs back, and they look like the same team that they were at the beginning of the year. And Gustafsson is playing well, and I don't know what kind of fucking sickness he has, but then I'm sure he's going to be recovered for this one. So, yeah, if you don't care about my bets, you don't give a fuck about my Knights, then just bet the Wild here at plus 140. That would be my recommendation.
If you don't give a fuck about Joel's bets, fuck you. You should care about Joel's bets.
That's true. But,
all you sliders out there.
You sliders, yeah. Speak up, sliders. For the total, though, kind of in a high-scoring series. Last game, of course, just a 3-2, but a lot of chances both ways. Total is uninteresting to me. I would say under, but the Knights' power play is got to be clicking. And Eichel did look better last game. I'll give you credit for that. He looked terrible to start the game. Like that fucking turnover early in the first period. I was already pissed off. Like, oh, fuck, we're done. But thankfully, he did look better after that. So hopefully the power play carries on from his performance. So I'm staying away from total. I'm staying away from everything. Just give me Knights to win this fucking series and fuck off, Mild. But if as an objective better, if you wanted my objective opinion, the plus 140 and then the Wild would be the only thing that I might bet.
Yeah, because like we overreact to one game in these playoffs. We saw it with the Avalanche. We're like, oh, the Avs have it now. Now the Stars have it, even though they got a few bounces their way. And same thing here. But I think Vegas is finally putting it together, even though there's been 2 straight overtime games. There, looking at the series price, you got Vegas minus
650,
Wild plus 450. I'm just doing some calculations here. It's plus 140 for game 6. And then for game 5, if they're plus 130, you get 452. They've been close to 2-1 every game. If it's 2-1, it's plus 620. So like,
you mean 1-2?
No, if it's for the Wild.
Oh, for the Wild.
For the Wild, yeah, they've been 2-1 dogs. Like, so if it's
that's true.
140 and then even 190, let's give them 190. It's plus 596. So you got these books just taking your money and laughing to the bank with it with their plus 450. But Kaprizov, Boldy tied here for most goals in the series. I do like them.
Speaking of books taking your money, there, I love that vig there, minus 120, minus 105 for 2 guys, and then add 3 more. You got in the mix as well.
Marcus Foligno, 150 to 1. 150 to 1. Throw $1 on it. Could win 150 if he gets a hat trick.
Honestly, there's worse bets.
Yes, there's always worse bets out there. But yeah, I do like a Kaprizov, Boldy.
But why are those the only
back in
5
this
guys
one.
offered? Like, are these guys? How many goals does Marcus Foligno have?
Kaprizov has 5. Boldy has 5. I think Foligno has 2.
Okay, so he needs a hat trick, basically.
Yeah, so he needs a hat trick or it to go 7 games and have 2 in each game. So not going to happen, but
Whatever.
they'll happily take care.
I like that better than a lot of bets. I don't know about this one though.
Brett Howden, though, big game player. I've always liked him in the playoffs. Came up with the overtime winner last night from Tanner Pearson, who did not play a lot. So good depth guys there from Vegas, just buying in.
The old Canuck and King, Tanner Pearson.
Yeah. All right. We are also brought to you by Underdog. Underdog Pick'em. You can play any sport and win up to 100 times your entry. Got plenty of stuff up there for hockey, so make sure you check it out and sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That is UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code HGP. And Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs and MLB prop market with Rhythm. Building your own model is simple and easy. Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial. And Rhythm has some amazing deals right now. 25% off monthly with promo code SGPN25 and 50% off an annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That is RITHMM. Promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, moving down to the series we'll all be focusing on here Thursday night. I believe it's a 9:30 start. Got the Dallas Stars plus 150 at the Colorado Avalanche minus 180. Under 6.5 minus 122. Over 6.5 plus 102. Joel, how are we feeling about those Avs?
Well, I mean, everything was going right for me. Everything was going right. Actually, no, I was kind of concerned because this was the day of the Canadian election and the Conservatives were making a lot of inroads in the Maritimes. So it's a bit, I laid some heavy bets at big prices, minus 400 for the Libs to win the most seats, minus 200 to win the popular vote. And the Conservatives had a very strong start in the Maritimes. And generally, that kind of like translates to how things are going to go forward after that. So yeah, of course the Canadian liberal media were fretting, and I was fretting for my bets, but thankfully the Liberals came through and they did win the popular vote as well. I do think that they ended up with a minority government, but we got our bets in there. At the same time, though, I was watching this stupid Avalanche team play these Stars, and they are just it's like the McKinnon show. Like, he's the only one. Even McCarr's not doing anything. The second
Marty Natchez completely disappeared. He's brought the hurricane-ness with him.
Absolutely. Totally correct. He's done nothing. He was almost at a point per game pace in the regular season. Now he's like invisible. Power play is dried up. Like it just McCann, Nichushkin here and there. But Lehkonen is slowed down. I don't have any confidence in the Avalanche right now. And the Stars gaining momentum. And of course, we know how much or how good Pete DeBoer is in prepping for these game sevens. But yeah, plus 150 for the Stars. So the Avalanche, backs against the wall and all that. Minus 180. I can't trust this team right now at this price. So if anything, I would take the Stars. Once again, this is not something that I'm going to be betting, but I'm trying to be objective here. And if I were coming into this fresh, like a virgin, I would bet the plus 150 on the Stars. I don't think that there's that much of a difference between these teams. I know the Avalanche have they've got good home ice advantage. It hasn't been as good as it has been in years past. Stars are a good road team. And yeah, they have a ton of depth going on. And DeBoer is a better coach, I think, than Jared Bednar, especially in terms of like matching up against them. I think the Avalanche have lost 3 times to DeBoer teams, whether it's the Sharks, Knights, and the Stars in years past. I don't think the Avalanche have ever beat a DeBoer team in the playoffs. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's true. And yeah, I thought Avalanche outmatched here. We could see a coaching change actually with David Carl. I think that's the name of the coach of the Denver Pioneers. he's waiting out the Avalanche job. He might suspect that the Avalanche move on from Bednar because he denied the Chicago Blackhawks job. And everyone thought that, it's because the Blackhawks are miserable. They're a shithouse organization, all this stuff. Like Bedard can't do anything. No, I think he's actually waiting out the Colorado Avalanche job. I think that he suspects that Bednar is on a short leash.
Interesting.
Yes, we'll be monitoring that. But for this game, the Stars I don't think are that far apart from the Avalanche. Even without Robertson and Heiskanen, I think Heiskanen will play Game 7. If it comes down to Game 7, pretty sure he'll play. Robertson probably not. But give me the Stars plus 150 in a vacuum. And we're going back to the well with the over 6.5. Didn't work last game, but I think we could see some more goals here.
It did work last game. Last game was 6-2. The game before that was 4-0.
No, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. It was a 6-2 Stars.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Right, I had them backwards. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You're watching those damn libs.
Yeah, pretty much agree with all that. Like in a vacuum. The Stars plus 150, I think, is a little bit too high there. But looking at the series as a whole, like their Avs have been the better team at 5-on-5, 58% of the shot attempts, 55% of the expected goals, 57% scoring chances, and like every game they've been, I guess game 1 they had 49, and game 2, there, but past 3 games, 54, 78, and 63% of expected goals for at 5-on-5. It's just Jake Ottinger has really shown up, especially after getting pulled there in game 4. He was big there in game 5. And then I mentioned before, Stars got a few bounces there with that Wyatt Johnston goal early, the second goal off of his back. So I don't know. I'm not going to lay minus 180, but I'm definitely not counting the Avs out yet. 27, 12, and 4 at home. Just had a 4-0 win at home where they looked like they could, roll this series in 6, but
that game was close. That game was close. It was really close.
That game was close. Yeah, it was closer than 4-0 suggests. Like, it was 2-0 in the first period, and then
it's like that Landeskog goal just like ignited the whole team.
Yeah.
And after that, it was all Avalanche. But before that, it was kind of even.
Yeah, that's true there. But yeah, so Stars, I guess, in a vacuum plus 150. But I will be rooting for the Avalanche. I mean, and if it goes 7, it's Peter DeBoer, and we'll talk about that potentially on Friday. Not sure if we're podcasting there, but. I've also read that like Makar has had a few horrible games. I'm not sure if you have any thoughts on that. I know he hasn't been nearly as good. So if you want,
he usually steps up in the big moments, though. So we're still waiting for that. I mean, this is the biggest moment so far. Series clinching game. He's got to step up, man.
Yeah. Once again, though, the draw here at plus 330. I think that's just too high. I mean, 2 of these 5 games so far have gone to overtime, so 40%. I mean. Plus 330, throw a few bucks on it, or parlay a few of them together and maybe get a big one there. I know you guys in the Discord love those parlays, so take a look at that there.
You done?
Yeah, I was gonna go to the series price, but you got something else?
No, go. We'll finish it off.
All right, series price here. You got the Stars minus 210. You got the Avs plus 180. Any inkling here?
I mean, I think the Stars win the series, but minus 210. I don't know. You got to do some math. You got just do the math by yourselves, boys. It's not that hard. Too hard for me though. At this point.
I have a calculator up. I'm not doing the calculations myself, but so you have it'll have to be minus 180 for the Avs to win, and then the Stars.
What the Avs were like minus 140 last game. It's probably a little depreciated.
Yeah, and then the Stars in Colorado were plus 145, plus 110, plus 123. So let's see plus 125 there, and that gets you to
wait, weren't the Avs like minus 180 in the last game?
Last game at home, they were minus 180.
Okay, what were they in game 5?
Game 5, they were minus 136. Let me do minus 135.
Right.
Get you to plus 171. Maybe this plus 180 is better, but Peter DeBoer's Game 7 record. And also the key thing, Miro Heiskanen skated today at practice with Thomas Harley on top pair. Could have just been standing in for Lyubushkin, but like you said, I feel like he might play in this game, and I feel like he'll definitely be back for Game 7 if it does get that far.
I'd be surprised if he plays in this one. I think DeBoer wants him to set up the whole series. Like if he gets to a Game 7, then he'll just play him because it's a do or die kind of thing. But I don't think he wants to play him unless he has to. So I do think that Heiskanen misses game 6, but plays game 7 if necessary. Yeah, the series price is like you were saying, Alexis, more or less on line with the money line prices. So nothing much going on there. Do you have anything else for this series?
No, Avs in 7 plus 180. Any game 10 goals plus 600. No, we have what, another game to get to on.
No, I wanted to talk about the Stars Conn Smythe stuff.
Oh yeah, yes, please.
Yes, so I totally disagree with Ottinger being the favorite star to win the Conn Smythe, because this guy is not a proven playoff performer. Ever since the series against the Flames, where he was absolutely a stud, like legitimately one of the best goalie performances you'll ever see in that final game, where the Flames finally knocked off the Stars in overtime. I think in Game 5, something like that. But he was absolutely incredible. But at 20-1, it's fucking ridiculous.
No.
That's why I'm looking down the board. We're gonna take Weintraub in there, 45, 50-1. And Thomas Harley,
60,
60
Hint 75. Shop around for these though, because earlier they had,
yes,
big
you can
discrepancy.
find 100-1 on Harley many places.
Do you think Harley gets it though if Heiskanen comes back?
Well, that's the thing. I want Heiskanen as well. And he's at like 200, 300-1.
Well, he's down to 150-1 now, and 120 to 1.
Okay, 150. That's fine.
Yeah, 150 there. Heiskanen.
Shop
Harley
around
on FanDuel is 100-1. That's it's a good look there. It should definitely be shorter than that. Hint 70-1. Rantanen 65-1.
Except the first round is like forgotten in the final series.
Yeah,
in the Stanley Cup Finals, right? It's just what you do in the finals, and then the Western Conference Finals, second round, and then the first round. Maybe they remember. It's just more about like point accumulation. That's all it is for the first round. Like, people forget what happened. Fucking people are idiots. They have no memory. They're not historians like I am, remembering how bad the Leafs are for so long. So yeah, I'm looking at these guys down the board. I just totally disagree with Ottinger being at 20-1. That's ridiculous. He's not winning the Conn Smythe. Okay, I will stake a lot of money against that. I'll be betting against Ottinger no matter how far the Stars go. I'll be betting against him with other Stars or other teams. However many people I got to fucking bet. Ottinger is not winning the Conn Smythe. Okay, he's not winning the Conn Smythe. I'm fucking done with goalies, man. Fucking Hellebuyck. If he wins the fucking Hart after how bad he's been the last 2 games, man.
Speaking of that, Ted Lindsay Award finalists announced today. You got Kucherov, McKinnon, and Makar. No Draisaitl, no Hellebuyck there. So I mean,
good for them.
I'm not sure.
That's what the players vote on, right?
I believe the players vote on that. I'm not sure if Makar should be 3, but Kucherov, McKinnon definitely.
Makar 3 is kind of weird. He's just a good-looking guy. People like him. A nice guy. Who is first?
Well, it's Kucherov and McKinnon were the other 2.
Oh yeah, Kucherov.
Just the final.
Players recognize quality. Game recognizes game, as the NBA players say. Game knows game. I don't know what the NBA players say.
I think they say recognize. I think they say recognize. Yes.
Yeah, Kucherov is definitely definitely a deserving Hart winner, but he's not going to win. It's going to be Draisaitl or Hellebuyck. Can I sweat my balls off, and then I'm going to lose my balls when Hellebuyck is announced, even though the Jets got their balls crushed in the first round once again. God damn it. Come on, Jets, win tonight.
Yeah, all right. Got a final game here on Thursday. I think it's 10-30, whatever it's at. Kings plus 136 at the Oilers minus 162. Over 6.5 plus 114. Under 6.5 minus 135. I'm going to be running it back with the over. I know it didn't hit last game. Took till overtime in the game before that, but
Camper was outstanding.
Camper was amazing here. And the Oilers, I saw a stat. I think one of the Doms or someone tweeted about it. Like, since the start of the third period, the other Dom,
the producer Dom of the 32 Thoughts, Dom Luchison of the Athletic. Which Dom?
Maybe it's not a Dom.
Is another Dom?
It's the PDO cast guy. Is it, who am I thinking of?
Oh, Dimitri.
Something with an F.
For the Povich.
Yeah,
Dimitri,
he tweeted out. I'm searching it right now.
Smart.
In 98 minutes of game time since the start of the third period in Game 4, Oilers advantage. Shots on goal 79-35. High danger chances 39-12. Expected goals 9.8 to 2.8, and goals scored 6-1. So Oilers have completely turned it on. Kings, I know you didn't watch the game, but The challenge by Jim Hiller on
Game 3.
was that game 3? Yeah, a 7-4 win for the
That's the
Oilers,
only one I didn't watch. So
where Kane scored and then they challenged it for
no, that was game 4.
No,
I watched that one.
That was game 3.
You sure?
That was game 3.
That was the Byfield giveaway, right?
No, that was game 4. That was game 4. Game 3 was the 7-4 Oilers win where
I was watching a stupid fucking David Cronenberg film. Absolutely useless. Do not watch The Shrouds, by the way. It's pathetic. There are a few funny moments, but terrible film. I should have been watching the Kings Oilers game, but anyway, girls.
Yeah, Kane scored, and then they got the challenge. 10 seconds later, Bouchard got the power play goal to go take the 5-4 lead, and then 2 empty netters for 7-4. And since then, been all downhill. Edmonton, last game shots were 46-22, only a 3-1 win because, as you mentioned, Kemper was outstanding. Nugent Hopkins got the empty netter, and that was the first points for McDavid and Draisaitl too. You had Kane scoring, and then Janmark with the game-winning goal there. Kings losing at home, going back to Edmonton, where Edmonton's 27-13-3. Kings are 17-20-6 on the road. So I like the Oilers here, minus 162. I think they do get it done. I like the over as well at plus 114.
What's the series price?
Series price on this one is Oilers minus 360, Kings 280.
Jeez, minus 360. All right. Then I still think the Oilers managed to push this to a game 7. I still think it's an Oilers in 7 kind of scenario. The Kings, they sneak one out in Edmonton. They come home and their butts get clenched again because these are the old demons, the ghosts they can't exorcise from their haunted house in LA, the crypto, whatever it's called now, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin arena. The ghosts are still lingering there with the Oilers. But yeah, for this game, it's all narrative. Like the lines are pretty accurate. Maybe the Oilers should be a little bit better odds, minus 170-ish, minus 180-ish, considering how well they played lately. Evander Kane has really stepped up. He looked a lot better than the last game that I noticed. And yeah, the Kings look shook. So I could totally understand that in Oilers play here. I want the Oilers to win the series now. We got the Oilers bets in, and yeah, I want the Oilers to win the series, but over 6.5, I don't hate that. I mean, Kemper can't produce that kind of performance again, or can he? I mean, he is a Stanley Cup winner, but people disrespected him so much with the Avalanche. Oh, he's just an average goalie, but he was actually pretty fucking solid in that playoff run. Of course, we did have some good games from who was it? The backup goalie for the Avs a long time ago. A lot of drinks ago.
Many drinks ago. Yes.
Many drinks ago. Yes.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. No, now I really need to. After this podcast, I'm going to look up the goalie's name because I do need to remember everyone.
I got you right now.
Thank you.
It was
a Finnish.
Francois.
Francouz. Pavel Francouz.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Is that who you were thinking about?
I totally forgot. No, I was confusing him with Justus Annunen, the guy we shipped off to Nashville. But no, Pavel is awesome. Like he was one of the best partiers after the cup. It's always the backup goalies who go hardest, even though they do the least work oftentimes. But no, he was awesome against the Oilers. But anyway, back to this series. The over 6.5 looks kind of appealing there at plus 114. But it is a game 6. Things are going to be pretty tight. Officials be letting a few things go that they might not have otherwise. Yeah, once again, I'm useless, man. I'm useless. I'm just
no, you got good insights here. It's just you're not betting it because you have your futures bets and your series bets.
Exactly. That's I bet all that. I got a million fucking bets for like 8 months of the year, and now I'm just like sweating them all out. Like fuck the Hurricanes. But yeah, for this one, I do think the Oilers win, but I got a sneaky suspicion that they make it close, tight for all those Oilers fans back home who are dreading McDavid leaving in a year. If the Oilers get past the first round, he's definitely going to be looking at options. And God forbid he goes to the Leafs. Oh my word, that's the worst narrative out there. But anyway, for this one, it's narrative. I'm sorry, I only have narratives. I think the Oilers just win in 7. Okay, that's what I think. I think the Kings steal this one. Oilers come back and smack them in the butt. and win in Game 7.
Fair enough there. I mean, that's fair enough. I do like the Oilers here. They were minus 140 in games, their previous home games after, not being great on the road. So now
Now
after
they got Evander Kane.
They got Kane rocking there. They got the depth going. So yeah, I think minus 160 is a decent price to take them at, given the Kings' lackluster effort last game and also just on the road in general.
I'm also scared for our Knights if the Knights play the Kings. Kings seem to have their number. I'd rather have the Knights play the Oilers. Strangely, even though the Oilers are much better rated by the market, I'd rather have the Knights play the Oilers.
Yeah. Apparently I was checking earlier. I have some free bets on the Oilers in 6, which I took when they were down either 2-0 or 2-1. So hopefully they do get it done here for my sake. Okay, that's the games on Thursday. There is one game on Friday we have odds for.
Lightning.
That's the no, because that could be over by now. Friday.
That's tonight.
We
fuck yeah.
don't have odds yet on DraftKings. Let me pull up some unnamed books here. No lines yet for the because what do you have? What do you have Friday? That's definitely, I guess, nothing. Jets Blues is going to be Friday, but they're playing tonight. So yeah, all of those 3 games, that could be the only game if the Panthers
or maybe the Knights Wild if it
both win tonight.
Actually, they just have 2 days off.
Yeah, no, Saturday there's 4 Game 7 scheduled.
Oh fuck, we just talked about it, man. I'm fucking drunk.
Yeah. You have any other Conn Smythe future thoughts here before we get to our puck buck bets and close things out?
No, the only Conn Smythe stuff I bet is since last show is just the star stuff because I don't think that it's appropriately priced. I hate Sebastian Aho at 14-1. Okay, go down the board. I'm gonna fucking rip these boys. Sebastian Aho 14-1, absolutely ridiculous. Hurricanes aren't winning the cup, and if they do, he's unlikely to win. I mean, there's 5 or 6 or 7 or 20 different Hurricanes who can win the fucking cup.
He's been clutch in clinching games though. I saw some stat. He has like 10 goals in like 14 games or something.
Svechnikov has the most goals in the series. He's at 35-1. I'd rather bet Svechnikov at 35 than Aho at 14. But the Hurricanes aren't winning the cup, so it's all irrelevant. Austin Matthews 31 is still getting way too much equity for the Leafs. I think. Oh, finally, Marner passed him. That's good. That's appropriate. Marner is the better Leafs player.
Only on that book on FanDuel, you got Matthews 38, Stolarz 38, and Marner 40.
Okay, 40 for what? Yeah, Marner at 40 is pretty good there. I do think the Leafs pull through in that one. Yeah, looking down the board.
Tavares 200-1. Like people don't remember the first round. If he comes up big late, like
200-1 now.
200-1 on FanDuel.
Oh my word, I'm an idiot. I bet him 100.
He's at 40-1 here on DraftKings. I may have to throw a few bucks on that.
Yeah, this is why you got to shop around.
Principle. Yeah,
these Conn Smythe that just people spend so much time worrying about it. Which team's going to win this game when they're all sharp as fuck? You're just paying into something that's already known. Everything is properly qualified, and when instead you could just be betting into the Conn Smythe where you can get 40-1 or 200-1 for the same guy.
Yeah.
Even allowing for all the hold in these markets. It's
yeah, like it's probably not going to hit, but he has a better than 0.5% chance. Like that's what 200-1 is, right? Like
I know he's not the captain anymore, but he's still the face of the team, and he's had a hell of a season, and everyone wants to root for the guy because he, laid down like a bitch for Austin Matthews being the captain. Yeah, the long prices on the Leafs, I don't mind that at all. Austin Matthews, I think, kind of fade. Of course, he can win. He's the captain and goal scorer, but he just hasn't had a good season. I think Marner's been way better than he has been all season long. So I think that Marner is the deserving favorite in this market for the Leafs.
Oh, and kind of a tip on these long shot bets. I just did it. I just bet John Tavares 200-1. Nice. Split your bet into a few different ones. So, like, if it gets to the Stanley Cup final, you can cash one out and still have a ticket that you can hold. Like, you're not like, oh, should I cash this out?
Won't talk to me about cash outs.
Like that.
I don't know your books, but my books, like, Bennington goes 400-1 to 100-1. I got like 33% of what I staked. How does that
some of the books are shit, but I imagine if you get Tavares now at 200-1, they make the cup and he's 10-1. You'll get some sort of cash.
I think books protect you. You got to show me receipts on this shit. I don't know about that.
Hey, I bet Miro Heiskanen earlier today at 300-1. for $100.
Okay.
And he's now down to 120 to 1. I can cash out for $50 more than I got.
All right.
There's the receipt.
That's not great, but that's much
It's not
better
great.
than what the fuck
It's
I
not
got.
great, but it's not negative. Like I know DraftKings has like a 20% cash out penalty. Like you place a bet, you try to you're like, oh, I meant to bet something else. No, you're fucked.
Yeah. I think it's the books are really protecting themselves in these markets. They don't want to give out these massive prices. They don't want to pay them out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it is what it is. Like nowadays, like the live betting as well, like FanDuel, whatever books offering these prices, like they just drop like immediately. Like before, they let them linger, right? I don't have legal books, but I remember talking in the Discord a year or two ago, like there were still these massive prices still available while the games are going on.
Yeah. So, last year, as soon as last year, like or as recent as last year, they have tightened up. I've noticed
right.
this season.
They must have been losing on it.
So
That's
far,
why they changed things up.
Yeah, hopefully. But I saw a tweet or something yesterday that ESPN still had the OT goal scorer market up after they tweeted out that Aho scored or whatever. So someone like just got a bunch on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's just an error.
Yeah, that's just ESPN Sportsbook sucking.
Right.
Yeah.
Too busy betting the libs.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through here to see if there's any other good long shots on FanDuel. I'll throw it up here. Matthew Nyes, 290. I don't think he has a chance, but it's very long. Once you get down here, yeah, 500 to 1. It's like all these players that are either being eliminated.
There's the odd one. The odd one that's very good, but most of them absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
Like Heskin, like
Gabe Velarde. I mean, Hellebuyck's
winning
it if the Jets
not a
win
chance.
At all.
Not a chance. I'd rather bet
Nate Schmidt 310. Braden Point 260 if the Lightning come back. Like
no.
Who knows?
They got to win 3 straight games, man.
Yeah. Stars with 20 people.
Gensel, I'd rather bet
Gensel 180. Yeah, if you take a Lightning,
if you want a Lightning guy, 180 to 1.
Yeah, Kucherov hasn't scored in like 15 games or something. He has not been shooting much either.
No, he's not been good at all.
No,
like the power play is like dead without him.
Yeah, Aiden Hill 150 to 1. If you want some Jack Eichel insurance.
Nope.
What's Eichel at? Let me see what Jackie boy.
Eichel figured out. As long as he's not hurt. If Eichel's healthy, he's going to win the Cup.
That is what gave me some hesitation there.
Yeah, Hurdle, of course, strong start. He's down to 30 to 1. Ridiculous. He's not.
No. People don't care about
that. He can win. Okay, there's the Marshall Soul situation, but he shouldn't be the same odds as Eichel. Because remember, we have to wait the later rounds more than the first round. This is all adjusted based on the first 4 or 5 games of this series, and they're not going to be remembered by the voters in the fucking game 6 of when they vote.
Yeah, if anything, right now, like you're projecting what might happen down the road. So you want those players that are, generating chances on that top line, but not necessarily getting in those. I'd
rather bet fucking Bobrovsky than a lot of these we've been talking about. And you know how I feel about goalies.
You'd rather bet the Canes than bet Bobrovsky, I thought.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather bet Bobrovsky than the Hurricanes. I'd rather bet Bobrovsky than fucking Sebastian Aho, that's for sure. Better odds, too.
Yeah. All right. Anything else here? Let's get the puck buck, close it out. We're almost at an hour. Almost got game starting here.
Yeah, let's go. I don't know what I'm.
All right, I'm taking Dallas, Colorado over 6.5 for 102 for 10 puck bucks, and then Kings, Edmonton over 6.5, 114 for 10 puck bucks. Would you like to copy those two?
No, we're not doing that shit again. I hate that. I regretted that immediately after we stopped recording. Never doing that shit again. I hated myself for it. Let me find something.
Well, I'm gonna have to let you go first at some point then. So, because these are the bets.
Those bets are fucking my bets anyway. Anyway, we're gonna go anti-Joel. We're gonna go with the Minnesota Wild plus 140, 15 puck bucks. This is not something I'm betting. I'm just betting in a vacuum. I do think that the line is a little inflated here for the Knights on the road. The Wild have been just as good as the Knights in the series, more or less. So plus 140 is too big of a price at home. I think the Knights win in 7. So give me the plus 140 for the Wild, 15 puck bucks. Give me the Stars, plus 150, 15 puck bucks on that one as well. Similar reasoning. I do not think the Avalanche are that much better than them. Of course, backs against the wall. You expect them to win, but minus 180 is too big of a price to pay. So I think that these teams are more evenly matched than that. Did you have Stars Avalanche over?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I'll skip that.
You can take it. Just change
No,
them.
no.
You can do it for
No,
15
we're going
bucks.
fresh slate. Fresh slate. Fresh slate. And
All right.
let's go with the. No, that's it. Those are my only two bets, but they give a lot of good content in terms of the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs, how bad they are, and Conn Smythe stuff. I think we got some good shit in.
This was a fantastic show. I can't imagine there's a more entertaining while also being informative.
I hope so, because I
betting
fucking exhausted myself doing this. Like I should be doing something else, if you know what I mean.
Joel, you should be doing something else. Joel would love it if you guys left a 5-star rating and review. I know that's
please.
Joel's favorite thing, and that reminds me of a comment we got on one of our recent videos on YouTube. You can comment there. From Andrew Maloney 6703 2 days ago. NHL hockey, the worst sport in the world to bet on. Worse than soccer. Look at the Kings last night. They lost me money.
Well,
that's it.
The fuck.
Worst sport to bet on. They lost me money. Well, place a winning bet then.
All right. Well, fucking bet on something that wins you money and send me your picks. I don't know. What the fuck am I supposed to say to that?
You got any? I know you walked away during the ad read. You got any horse racing picks for this weekend?
Ooh, yes. Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. No, I don't really. I've just been fading the guys who've been talking to me. I don't like their arguments. We have Eddie Olchuk. He likes the favorite journalism at 2-3 to 1. Yeah, but he's actually pretty good. He likes the Tatskin or something at like something crazy like 25-30 to 1. My guy Drew Dinzik, he likes American Promise at around 18-20 to 1. He thinks that the line will go lower. But no, I've nothing yet. Of course, our old guy Talon, he killed it with Mystic Dan. He said if it's muddy, bet the mudder, and he bet the Mystic Dan at some ridiculous price, and nobody was picking Mystic Dan. So credit to old Tal boy Tally Jenkins. But no, I'll have something because but you don't want my bets in it because I've never hit a Kentucky Derby bet in my life, but of course we did hit the best one of all. Just ask Joel, 100 to 1 at whatever the fuck track in Singapore. Where the fuck that was.
Important question here in the chat from Trevor. Joel, are the Toronto Argonauts going to get over 10.5 wins this season?
Win totals? Oh, dude, I gotta dig into this tonight. Oh, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow for sure. That seems very high on the first look, but. Dude, I haven't dug into any CFL, but 10.5 in a CFL win total is pretty high. So I know they have a Chad Kelly coming back. This fucking molesting woman suspension. So he's the best quarterback in the CFL, I guess, other than Nathan Rourke if he returns to the Lions. Yeah, CFL, man. Like fucking. Ask Gorgon. The guy's a fucking genius at this sport. 3 Down Nation. But no, I haven't dug into any CFL stuff lately. But that seems a little high, and I would fade that. But I do love that they're talking shit to your Sanders already. That's what the Toronto Argonauts do. They get their little claws and their little tentacles and try to peek into these big name players. And yeah, I hope Shedeur Sanders ends up in Toronto. That'd be the fucking cherry on the Sunday. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's fucking end this shit.
Are we going to record Friday or Saturday, or what are you thinking? Or can you not think straight right now?
No, I could probably do Friday. I might be sober, more sober at least.
It might just be the Blues game. If we might only have 1 or 2 games Friday, so it might be.
It's okay. I can tell everyone about how the Toronto Maple Leafs sucked for 60 years or whatever it's been.
We have all the time in the world for that. Make sure you subscribe everywhere: Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Follow on Twitter at HockeySGPN, Discord sg.pn/Discord. Get some yapping in there. I'm Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer. And instead of the bath, tonight you'll find me sleeping in my own peaceful, comfortable bed.